Hey guys, everyone's well as ever. It's your boy M.K.S here, drinking some water, trying to be healthy. I never used to drink water, so I've started drinking a bottle a day, so that's not too bad, I suppose, but probably not as good as some, but it hopefully will help me to lose weight. So, because you probably can't see, but I'm quite chubby around the stomach. So, anyway, although I have seem to have lost some weight. But anyway, sorry for my waffling. I'll try and get on with this video about my plans for what to do on Tuesdays and how I hope to help people across Asia in terms of business, help Asian banks and raise the profile of Asian banks, excuse me, sorry, and how to get banks, especially from Asia and around the world, to invest in Asia, Asian nations, and encourage like people to invest in Asian entrepreneurs, raise their profile and support each other, network together, and that kind of thing. So, anywho, hope you enjoy the video and please share and like and all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. And please also give me any ideas, suggestions, or any other feedback. It'd be great. It'd be great to read any feedback and all that. So here goes. Number 21. Just to recap some of my older ideas, I was talking about how I dream to support Asia in terms of all sorts of projects, engineering, tourism, trade, investing together, YouTubers, the youth, and all sorts of things like that. Encouraging new entrepreneurs and supporting people from the poorest to the richest. Really, not really just one particular group. I wish to raise the profile of entrepreneurs like Rajan Tata or Ratan Tata, uh, and many Asian billionaires like that, and some of the most successful businesses and entrepreneurs across Asia like Tata, celebrate those businesses and encourage them and raise their profile even more, things like that, and encourage people of Asian descent to support them, including from the diaspora, and also encourage more people to become entrepreneurs and things like that. And so I talked about a few of those sorts of ideas. I won't go through the whole list because it's quite a few. So please check those out if you haven't checked out parts 1 and 2. And let me know what you think about your worst and your favourite ideas, your least favourite and your most favourite ideas. Really appreciate it. And any Asian YouTubers or people who, or mixed race YouTubers like myself, or people who are interested in Asia and Asian history and culture, please post any links or any information as well in the comments below. I'd love to connect with you as well. Number 22. I hope to encourage, and I often talk about like how certain numbers remind me of certain things, and how I'm trying not to repeat too many ideas, but hopefully this is quite. It's difficult to come up with new things to talk about. I'm going with it, but this is hopefully quite different to some of the things I've talked about. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I probably have, but not very often, I'm sure. But about encouraging African women in technology specifically to have more African female leaders, and I feel that's important to encourage them from the youngest possible age. Like I'd love to give like perhaps they could be specially designed keyboards or PCs that can't be revamped or laptops or whatever. They've got the keyboards which people can still have like the keys where children from Africa can learn, especially girls, but also boys, but especially girls, to learn how to use the keys and things like that. And the reason, as I said before, of why I wish to support African girls, especially and women in technology and Africa generally, and to encourage them, people of all ages and backgrounds across Africa, especially indigenous Africans or black Africans, is because I feel that Africans or black people and the diaspora have been underrepresented in technology, and I hope to support black people in technology and especially females generally, but in particular in Africa and indigenous Australians. And I hope that the money they raise can go back, like their wages can go back into training other uh, African girls and so forth, so they can like mentor each other. And there's like, if you're a black British or African American person or a black person in Europe, when you earn money, your taxes go back into like the government, which spends it on things I don't agree with, like wars or weapons trade. So, as ever, I'd love to know what you think about the idea, pro or against, or whatever, and the reasons why you feel that. So, as I said before, instead of joining the military, say for instance, I think if we could get training like black people, say for instance in Britain or America, get training in technology, then they can then use those skills and mentor people from Africa. And also, if they could like choose where the tax money goes, I think that would be a better choice than join the military, because then you can help more people in Africa and you wouldn't be invading countries like African countries, but also like Asian nations like Iraq or Vietnam, or places like that. So, as I say, I'd love to also improve relations between Africa and Asia, African nations with each other, and also with with sorry about that. I'll try to ignore that. With people from with people from with their own nations and also with each other. 23. Again, I hope to fundraise for projects like that and support people like in slums, orphanages. Um, sorry, I hope that noise is not too distracting, but as I'm in the video, I'll try and ignore it for now. Sorry about that. But yeah, to fundraise and look at ways to fundraise again for people to share ideas that I might not have thought of and things like that. To fundraise for these projects, such as empowering women to become leaders in technology, training up girls in Africa and indigenous girls like from Australasia in technology, and also people from Asia in other fields like science and business and things like that, and to learn English so they can trade around the world. But again, I'd love to support especially the poorest people and people from slums, orphanages, which I assume would include some of the poorest people, and people from like Dalits from India, but whilst at the same time not really bashing the rich or not really, but still supporting their projects as well. As I hope that makes sense. 24 again, I hope to support a Pan-Asian network in business and support each other's projects, buy from each other, trade with each other, and again, people from the diaspora and so forth, all around the world, people of Asian background, even part Asians like myself and mixed race people, generally supporting Asia, and encourage as many people as possible to support Asia. 25, especially republics. And again, I love like banks from Asia and around the world to invest in Asian startups and entrepreneurs generally and help existing entrepreneurs to grow their businesses and other people to get training to run businesses. And again, encourage people to mentor them and things like that. 26. Again, hope to look like what Asia and Africa have in common, like, and even what I call the four generally, like indigenous people from Australasia and the Americas as well, like Native Americans and so forth, all over the Americas, because they were all invaded, so they have so much in common. So I'd love to encourage them to network together as much as possible, improve relations, as I say, especially between Africans and Asians, but also people from Africa and Asia supporting the other two groups as well, like Indigenous Australasians and Native Americans and so forth, and like basically all four to support each other, and anti-imperialists to support those groups as well. 27. I hope, as I said before, like for people from Asia, especially, to get into Italian football and support Italian clubs like Serie A clubs, especially, and also hope to look at ways to support lower level clubs in Italy as well as supporting Celtic as well. And every country that was colonised by the UK, I think, should support Celtic as it's like as Rangers, the rivals, are kind of like pro-Union, pro-British, and talk about Britannia rule the waves. So I think that countries that are colonised by Britain should support Celtic, in my opinion. Countries like India and China, I'd love to see them support Celtic and to invest in Celtic as much as possible. And I'd also love like Celtic fans to lobby to like to be able to put their money into Celtic, support Celtic, instead of, again, like people to not pacifists and conscientious objectors to lobby so that we don't have to pay our taxes to like wars or the weapons trade or the military industrial complex or things like that. 28. Again, I hope to think of like new ideas so that hopefully I'm not too repetitive, but sometimes like ideas just to remind myself or remind other people. Again, like I think repetition until the idea hopefully reaches its full potential. Again, making like negatives from making positives rather from negatives, hopefully not the other way around. Like Iraq and Vietnam being invaded and going through all these bad things, like trying to make up for that by helping them. 29, I'd love to encourage mixed race people to support Celtic, and also possibly improving relations between mixed race people and Italy through football, and Italians and the rest of the world through football, like other countries to train with Italy, and in return Italians to get on that with those countries and to challenge the racism in Italy through like football, like playing football together. Sorry. And number 30, I know some of these ideas are a bit quirky. Sorry if I repeat them. I'd love to know what you think. As ever, please don't hold back your feedback or comments, ideas, suggestions, likes, and sharing of the videos. Peace and love.